Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video for the warships, and in this video we will be taking a look at everything that Wargaming has just updated in this second week of the update 14.7. So if you want to get the best of this update and want to farm all the rewards and potentially get every value that Wargaming is trying to provide, or something that you should really know that what is happening in the game, definitely watch this video fully because I have explained everything that you need to know. So first of all, we will take a look at the In the Name of Tomorrow event, which by the way has a new operation starting today, and that is Tokyo Express. We will take a look at what are the missions, how to farm the stars in operation, and also we are going to take a look at the recommended ships. So if you do find this video useful and valuable, be sure to hit a like and give me a subscribe, because as a content creator I make almost daily World of Warship videos, and your subscription will help me a lot and motivate me to make more of them. So let's start and talk about the Tokyo Express. So before that we used to have the Arctic Convoy, which by the way limited to only tier 6 to tier 7 ships. Now we have a improvement of warship tier from tier 7 to tier 8, and now we can only pick Americans, the Netherlands, as well as the Commonwealth. So what are the good ships to pick? We talk about that, no problem whatsoever, but we have to take a look at the chapter 2. So the chapter 1, if you have completed it out, that's good, but if you did not, for example, there are some people out there who might have just logged into the game and they thought, okay, I haven't completed the Arctic Convoy, which right now you cannot see. By the way, this chapter possibly cannot be completed because you are basically limited to that operation, the Arctic Convoy. Okay, these all missions from the chapter 1, these can be completed only in the Arctic Convoy. Okay, now we have the beginning of the second chapter, which is only be possible by grinding operations in the Tokyo Express. So we are going to start it up here. As you can see, we do have this disk, we can open this, we can have this video game playing. You can do that whatsoever. You can go and watch out all the historical aspects that Wargaming is also trying to give you as a narrative based event, so that if you want to know about how the World War II happened and what are the things that basically happened during that, they basically give a very decent sort of narrative. And then we have this chapter 1, and then we have to farm stars in operation. Okay, so ultimately this is only 1 star that we need in order to complete this operation, okay, or I would say this sort of episode. Then we have other episodes, okay, to get to those episodes, and then you have to keep opening up the files because they contain a collection that you can complete. As you can see here, we do have the collection here, 39 for 245 Chronicles collection. Okay, so if you complete this, you can click on it, and then you can get this collection as well alongside. Okay, so over time you will eventually, once you farm operation, you keep farming the stars, you eventually will complete and get to 12th episode. Okay, and as you can see, Stalingrad stands, targeted strike, killed Yamato. So these are the operations, or I would say the episodes that you will complete by completing Tokyo Express operation. Okay, it's PvE mode. You don't need to fear about any of that random battle thing where you have to fight against players. It's just that you have to play and get a good ship to fight against bots. So what are the good ships, to be honest? Well, I would say the first ship that you can see right in front of your screen, tier 8 Cleveland, is a really good option. Why? Because it does have a lot of DPM, the gun DPM, the performance of the guns is pretty nice, you have really good reload time. And by the way, you also do have radar, since it's a night operation if I'm not wrong. As you can see, scout the darkened waters of the South Pacific. So you basically need to kill the destroyers, and you need some DPM along the way. So Cleveland does also come up with radar, so you can radar destroyers or whatever. And you do also have hydro for yourself if you want to avoid yourself getting yourself torpedoed. So TPM, very good. Anti-defense, I don't think so you need particularly the anti-defense in this, I would say the Tokyo Express operation. But yeah, you can understand that you need a lot of gun performance. Gun power is good in Cleveland. And also, by the way, if you are a very new player in this game, okay, Wargaming somehow generously, I would say, decided to give you a rented Cleveland. Okay, so you can also have a rented Cleveland if you don't have Cleveland on any of the other premium ship that I know a lot of players don't have the premiums. So they have given you a rented Cleveland. you can play that as well and can at least complete the operations, and this will give you ultimately the San Diego. If I can show you, I haven't talked about that. The main motivation behind all of these rewards is actually San Diego. Okay, this is a premium tier 8 cruiser that you are getting, okay, at the end of these 4 chapters that you are trying to complete. Okay, then basically we have the Wichita, a premium ship that I would recommend. Decent guns, again the same thing, it's a Baltimore class cruiser. It does well, but it's not having superb HE, but it does have radar, again have hydro. But I would say Cleveland is going to be better over Wichita. Also a couple of ships like, for example, the light cruisers like Flint can be accessible for coal if you buy, and if you have this ship, that's actually a good thing, because the Flint can do pretty well. It has really good gun performance, the DPM is good, the shells are a bit archier, that's for sure, because it's a light cruiser guns. And also you do have something which is a very good thing, which is smoke. So if you do get focused by something, you can always smoke up and disengage. And then you also have hydro to protect yourself from torpedoes. And similarly like Flint, Atlanta is basically a Flint without having smoke but having access to radar. So you basically have slightly better DPM than Flint, that's for sure. You have 4.8 seconds of reload time. So if you want more firepower compared to Flint, and if you do have this premium cruiser, you can also play that in the ranked battles. The gunpowder is pretty nice. And then a couple of other ships, for example like the Helena. So at tier 7, if you are thinking of buying or at least playing some ship, I would say Helena is a really good option. Really good DPM, you have 15 guns, light cruiser guns, and it will do wonders. You have the damage output that you can pump against those destroyers, pesky destroyers. And also if you do have an opportunity to get the Voyage as a premium, it's also a nice thing. Now it does have less DPM, the reload time is slightly worse than I would say the Helena, because it's a copy. It's basically, I'm not gonna say it's a copy, but it's basically a Cleveland class cruiser. It does have access to, however, the heal, super heal. So it's actually one of the cruisers that can tank a lot. And I would say a lot because, well, you do have some HP, and then on top of that you have super heals, so you can help yourself a lot in just tanking directly. Also some of the cruisers like from the other nations that I would say, one of that, if you do have grinded out the dockyard, it's an older dockyard ship, D7 Prevention. If you have this cruiser, that's great because it does have access to airstrikes. So if you have played Gudaliu or Utrecht and you are comfortable with those airstrikes, you can definitely play D7 Prevention if you do have in your port. Okay, also one more ship that you can possibly pick is going to be the San Diego. Like, if you do have San Diego, you might be thinking, then why I'm grinding this whole thing? You are going to get San Diego from the operations. Well, if you don't know, if you have the San Diego already and you complete these operations, you're going to get 11,000 doubloons as a compensation. So that's a really good incentive for everyone, including me, to grind this whole event. Okay, in the name of tomorrow event, grind these operations. Okay, so you can play San Diego as well. Also, if you want to play the Gambia, this is also a recently free dockyard ship. It's not the main dockyard reward, but it's a middle dockyard reward that is also good in the gun performance at tier 7. It also have, by the way, access to smokes and heal, which does help a lot in many situations, especially in these operations. Okay, so these are the mostly good cruisers. All multiplayer is a copy of Cleveland. You can also pick that if you want to. Again, the same thing, copy of Cleveland, nothing else very different. Now, when it comes to battleships, Massachusetts is a great pick. It does have really good secondaries, right? You need secondaries to farm these ships that are coming towards you very, very quickly. And then you have big guns. Big guns help a lot. And then you have really good torpedo protection. And then you have like decent overall stats. Like, you know, we all know Massachusetts. It's a really good ship regardless of any situation. So I would say the faster heals on cooldown, I would say these all things gonna work well. So it's a great pick overall. Also, one more thing that I would say is as a good alternate at tier 7 is going to be the West Virginia 44. Again, it does have decent secondaries, but well, it does have also the guns, good guns as well, but it is very slow. So I probably not going to like it a lot in the operations. I would like to have relatively fast battleship like the Massachusetts one, which also does have a lot of secondaries. The West Virginia also have really good secondaries but slightly worse range, but it's still gonna perform well overall. So if you do have the opportunity, if you do can play West Virginia 44. If you don't have Massachusetts, then you can play that for sure. Also, one more ship that I would say that you can try to pick is going to be the Tennessee. Now Tennessee does not have secondaries and it's also slow, just like the West Virginia 44 at tier 8, but it does have really good accuracy, cruiser dispersion, 1.8 sigma, really good guns overall with 12 of them, really good reload time, so you can definitely punch a lot of those broadside cruisers and even take down destroyers with HE. Really good fire chance on the HE shells, so you can also use the Tennessee in your favor if that is something according to your taste. So these are the battleships and cruisers for these nations that you can pick. There are not a whole lot of honestly, options other than the American nations mostly. Maybe if you want to pick something good in destroyer, then the Kid really comes in my mind, because Kid does have really good DPM. As you can see, 161 KHE DPM is not bad at all. And then you do have the smoke, you do have the heal, and you also have the speed boost, by the way, 14 knots of speed, so it's gonna be relatively fast, and Kid can do really well in this operation, I must say. So these are the ships that you can potentially pick. Hopefully, if you want to pick maybe other decent ships, you can try that, but these are the mostly recommended ships. Okay, so hopefully that answers this question. Now I'm not gonna go into the Tokyo Express. Maybe I can make a dedicated video on how to farm those 5 stars in the Tokyo Express, which I will definitely do that. So if you do, give me a comment down below whether you need that video for getting the easiest way to farm 5 stars in this operation. Okay, and then we have, last but not the least, we have the event pass. The event pass, it basically did not change, but just remember that because since this is the second week and it's Thursday, at least for me it's Thursday, you basically see we have the weekly mission gotten reset. Now you can farm these weekly missions and get extra progress points along with the daily missions that you're grinding along the way from the first week, so that is pretty nice. Okay, the next thing that is going to be very important, which is going to be the army. There is something that is very important. Let me show you guys real quick. Okay, so now we have gotten into the army. As you can see, we do have in the featured section a lot of areas to look at. Now I have explained thoroughly in the name of tomorrow what are the things that you can potentially grind from this. I will definitely gonna tell you about this, but the newest thing in the second update, or I would say in the second week, we have the Twilight Offerings. Okay, we have the US Destroyer in early access back in the last month, so we can check that as well. We do have the Grand Voyage, which I will also gonna explain a bit more. If you guys have just started playing this game, we will take a look at the Grand Voyage at the end as well, but these are the relatively older things. This is the newest thing that just happened today. By the way, always click on this thing because you are going to get extra warships premium time. These are the daily rewards that UrAvgWarGaming always put in the Armory section. Okay, now let's open the Twilight Offerings, and I just opened that. Now there are potential things that you can have. Okay, something that you should really look forward to is if you get in your first random bundle. In my case, I got the coal, I got the 5000 free XP and 850,000 credits. This is something that you should not really have any interest whatsoever, to be honest, because it's not giving you a ship. However, if your first random bundle going to give you either Chikuma 2, either Key, Vanguard and Munchen, that's only gonna cost you 1250 doubloons. That's it. That is pretty cheap, if you ask me. So I was unlucky, I didn't manage to get my ship in the first random bundle. But if you are thinking that maybe it's there, it's right there, right? You might be thinking in these random bundles you might have one ship there. Well, it's a gamble because you don't know where the possibility of that ship will be. Like, you have no idea. This is something that UrAvgWarGaming really wants you to think, that the ship is right there. It's right there in the third random bundle. It's right there in the fourth random bundle. But it's not. We don't know exactly its precise location. So that's why if you have the ship in the first bundle, which you can open without spending any doubloons, obviously, then it's pretty much worth it. And then you should really spend your doubloons to get either of these ships if you get one. Okay, I mean, you might be thinking, okay, Vanguard is not, for example, Key is not a good ship. Well, Key is, by the way, available for coal. You can directly buy it, but you just for the sake of argument, Key is not a good ship. But Does it really matter? You're still going to get the premium for 1250 doubloons. That is really dirty cheap. So I would highly recommend to get the key, because then you won't be getting it in super containers, then you won't be getting it in Santa containers. If you open Santa containers, you will have more possibilities getting other premium ships rather than the key. So yeah, get the key. Vanguard, Munchen and Chikumatu, they will not going to be coming back as a ship in the other container. So that is something that is very important. Also, if someone of you guys don't know how to look at the Grand Voyage, this Grand Voyage event, by the way, is really good. And by the way, the one way to checking out whether you are completing and grinding this biggest event, where you can have the massive opportunity to farm 32,000 doubloons or 32,000 steel for free, if you don't know that, okay, just to give you an idea, just to have some idea for you guys, you can see here we have this Grand Voyage combat event section available. Okay, if you go and check out this thing, you can see that I'm already grinding out Voyage tokens. These Voyage tokens can be eventually converted into steel, okay, or doubloons. Okay, I will also gonna explain like how you can convert these tokens into steel, or I would say doubloons. But you can see, if you play a battle, you're going to get Voyage tokens. If you play I would say 3 battles, then you have a opportunity to get the GQ Johnny, which is, by the way, a tier 9 premium ship. So what I would say that you should do, that you play every day a battle, that's gonna give you 350 Voyage tokens today and also 150 Voyage token. That is a total of 500 Voyage tokens or 500 steel or doubloons, let's just say it that way. Okay, so that is pretty nice. You're getting it, you can convert it, I will explain that if you don't know. And then you are also, if you play 3 battles, you're going to get 1 token, GQ Johnny token, which you can eventually convert to have the tier 9 premium ship. And then you also, if you play 5 battles, okay, for the steel and doubloons you need to play 1 battle every day, but for the ship itself you have to play minimum 3 battles to get 1 token for the course of a longer period of time. It's also for the course of a longer period of time. This vision will be available for 139 days. So remember, you have to keep grinding every day, play a battle for 139 days. You have to just log in every day to get that 150 Voyage token or steel or doubloon, whatever you say at the end. Then you also have to play 5 battles. If you play 5 battles, then you have the highest tokens in a possible day. Okay, so you try to farm as many tokens as possible, and eventually you will be able to get to the tier 9 free destroyer GQ Johnny, which is a copy of Johnston that has sap with F key, whatever you call it, or HE shells. But again, something that you're getting it for free as a tier 9 premium. You can have it for yourself like that. So hopefully this answers a question of Grand Voyage. I have explained that in detail in many of my previous videos. That's why I'm not going to explain in full detail. Hopefully this answers the question still. And also I think I will for sure going to explain you that if you go into the Grand Voyage, you go and click on it, you can either access this Grand Voyage section by clicking onto the show button in the featured section, and you can also access the Grand Voyage by clicking this area. Okay, you click it, it basically gets to the login side. Once it logs in, you will eventually see that how you can convert your steel or doubloons by just farming those Voyage tokens every day. So hopefully this will log, or I would say open up, and you can see I have farmed over the course of 7 days 3,500 Voyage tokens. So what I can really do, if you want to, if I want to, or if you want to convert these tokens to steel, because this is like flat out 3,500 steel that I can exchange. Okay, so what I do, I click on it, I click on the exchange. Hopefully this will lead me to the other area. Yeah, as you can see, I just clicked it. Now it has taken me to Voyage token exchange. Now either you can convert it into, I would say, let me just show you this quickly. This is 3,500 doubloons. Either you can convert these tokens to 3,500 doubloons, okay, or you can convert it into 3,500 steel. So that is totally up to you. I just shown you how to do that if you don't sort of able to understand. Then you can also really able to check out all the other things. Like for example, this is the daily welcome bonus section, then there is a daily reward section, then there is GQ Johnny progress. I have done 8% of the progress for my tier 9 premium that I was saying that you have to grind 5 battles a day to get those 2 tokens, and then it will eventually complete your progress. Decade at Sea, it's going to be coming up in 20 days. This is basically, by the way, the anniversary event, which will be coming with insane amount of rewards. I can't tell you that. I have already basically explained a full video. In a full video I have explained everything. So these are the things that you can see. This is the event timeline, well, the welcome bonus, how it's gonna last, the daily rewards, everything that you should really know. And these are the FAQs. Basically go to the FAQ, and basically if you have any question, you can always get an answer. Other than me answering that, you can get answer from these questions as well. So this is basically what Grand Voyage really is, and well, that's basically it. In the name of tomorrow, just gonna get you through this once again. This is important. The war is over. You will get the victory tokens, 70 of them in the operations, or I would say while grinding those operations, the Arctic Convoy, the Tokyo Express, and the other operations that are coming. You complete those operations, and then eventually you are going to get 70 of those tokens, and then you can get those containers. War is over container. I mean, I'm not gonna go in detail. I have explained everything that you need to know. But again, there is also a Missouri that will be available for 19,000 doubloons as a discount after completing In the Name of Tomorrow event, or I would say, if you're able to get the San Diego fully as a reward, then you have completed out this thing, and then eventually you can buy Missouri for very cheap for 19,000 doubloons. Something, if you don't know, I have explained that. So these are the things that are, some of them are possibly old, but again, for the players who are probably missing out on any of these opportunities, I have explained something older things, and then I have explained the new things. Like for example, where you have the opportunity to get the Chikuma too, if you find it for cheap. Yes, in the first bundle you can definitely get it, maybe the key, maybe the Vanguard, whatever. So these are the ships that you can definitely also utilize when I was talking about the Tokyo Express. If you play this event and farm the stars for In the Name of Tomorrow event, eventually completing the whole grind. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys get some value. If you do have any question, let me know in the comment. I answer, and I'm telling you, I answer almost every question that is featured in my comment section. Everything. If you have any question, let me know in the comment. I will answer that. Don't worry about it. I'm here for that. I'm really here for you guys, to help you guys, okay? So at the end, that's what I can do. Last but not the least, I would like to give a big shout out to my Patreon members. These guys are awesome. They are directly supporting my channel, and I cannot thank them enough. They are just helping me so much that I can't I can't say much. I just don't have words for that. Like, these guys are awesome. You can be also become one if you want to. You just can join my Patreon if you want to do that. So, and yeah, that's basically it. So thank you guys for watching, and take care, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.